Hi folks, today we're going to take a look at Liberty Droll, where he goes to another school board and gets trespassed. But before we start today's video, as always, a big thank you to all of my current and new channel members and subscribers. Without your guys' continuous ongoing support, I couldn't keep the channel going, so I want to thank you all personally from the bottom of my heart. And if you're new to this channel, please subscribe to the page. Leave a like and a comment because it helps me with the algorithm. Please consider becoming a member, and don't forget to check out our new podcast, the Craptown Florida Man Power Ranking. New episodes every week, and episode 2 is up right now. With all that being said, let's enjoy today's video.
Hi. I don't think so. Thank you, though. Got human resources over here. Seminole County Public Schools, human resources. Nothing going on in here. It's a nice shot of the flag there. 1 second. Very nice. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry?
Did you need to go in the building?
Yeah. I want to check out all the public areas in the building.
Okay. You can, but can you check in with me first?
Yeah, my name's Zach. Just put Zach on there. It's fine.
No, I need your ID. To check in.
Oh, no, I'm not willing to give. I didn't bring my ID with me anyway. I didn't drive, so.
Are you sure about that?
If you want to go in, you need to check in here.
Is that like just the policy you guys have here? Okay, so it's not like against the law, right, to continue on without an ID? The reason I ask is because there's a Fourth Amendment that we have. We don't have to give up that private information. Yeah.
And again, as we've covered before, signing in where they request ID is not a Fourth Amendment violation because it's not an unreasonable search or seizure of your person or property or your identification. They are simply telling you if you wish to access this building, you need to sign in with your ID. The Supreme Court has already ruled that this is not a violation of your Fourth Amendment. Now, you can continue to be an arrogant jerk and not obey the rules and policies of the building and face consequences from that, or you can cooperate and get what you need to get done.
Yeah. I see some public restrooms over there. I'll be right over here if you need me, ma'am. Lots of cameras everywhere. Hello, how you doing? Oh, excuse me. Is this where you make payments? For what kind of payments do you guys do here?
Excuse me.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm gonna try to get
sorry. Go
Anything
ahead.
that you need to pay for the county.
Okay, anything? Like what would be an example of something somebody comes here to pay? Would it be like, yeah. I record any interactions I have with government. I'm doing a little story here on the school board.
You just report
Yeah, so what kind of, just like what's one example somebody comes here to pay in person?
employee badge.
Employee badge? Okay, fair enough. That's all I needed. Thank you.
Hi, sir. Can I help you?
I'm sorry?
Can I help you?
Hi, who are you?
I'm the executive secretary in HR.
Oh, I'm Zach. Nice to meet you. What's your name?
My name's Sandy.
Nice to
But
meet you.
You're filming.
Yeah, recording.
Okay, so you need to sign in at the desk. It's stated on the door. It's also stated.
Yeah, I told her I don't mind signing in. I still want to show ID. I don't have my ID on me anyway.
You have to show ID to sign in.
Well, I was asking her if that's a law, because we do have a Fourth Amendment. We don't have to give up the information to enter a public building.
Well, it's very obvious why they would ask for a photo ID. It's to verify that you are who you say you are. Because if somebody had a trespassing or a restraining order against somebody in that building, if somebody was to sign in with just any old name, they could go in and possibly stalk them or violate the trespass order. Not to mention, since this is a school board district, they have to be very secure about who they let into the buildings, especially certain individuals who are on a very specific registry. Now, we all know why you're saying that it's a violation of your Fourth Amendment rights and why you're not going to give ID. Because a true journalist would actually just do it and get their story. You want some kind of mythical standing so you can file a frivolous violation of your civil rights lawsuit and try to get some go-away money. That's the whole point and purpose of the First Amendment auditing community. It has changed from an actual movement wanting to protect our rights to a bunch of scam artists and grifters trying to get our money.
You do need to sign in. It's a safety and security procedure.
Yeah, signing in is totally different than showing ID. I'm okay with signing in. That's fine.
Okay, if you'd like to wait up front, I can get safety and security down here, and they can go over it with you. I'm not safety and security,
these people
but
right here.
you can wait up front.
Hey, how can I help you?
Hey, how you doing? I don't need help. Who are you?
I'm Lieutenant Sumner County Sheriff's Office, School Safety and Security.
Oh, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. So yeah, I just came in. She said I need to sign in. I said I don't mind signing in, but she said you need to show ID. I said I don't want to give up my Fourth Amendment.
Yeah, so to get into, and similar to getting into any school, in order to gain access to the building, you have to provide your ID.
Yeah, that's a Fourth Amendment. Yeah, that's a Fourth Amendment violation. So.
Wrong. The Jessica Lunsford Act.
So is that a policy?
Yep.
Okay, so it's not a law.
It's part of the Jessica Lunsford
Right,
Act.
and it's also part of.
So as law enforcement, the only thing you should concern yourself with is the law, not policy, not feelings, not any of that stuff. Because you're not policy enforcement, right? You swore an oath to the Constitution, not policy.
Well, I am also school safety and security for this building, so you're fine. We can have a conversation.
Yeah, I don't mind signing in. That's fine. I just don't want to. I just don't want to show ID because it's
What's
not.
your purpose?
But you have to show ID. According to the Jennifer Lunsford Act, it is a requirement for entering into a school to have your ID ran and verified that it's who you say you are. To prevent another tragedy like Jennifer Lunsford. Jennifer Lunsford was a 9-year-old girl who tragically had her life taken away from her by a violent offender who broke into her house, kidnapped her, assaulted her, and eventually unalived her. The act was passed to make sure nothing like this ever happens to another child. So you can understand why a school district or a school itself would want to run somebody's ID when they sign in.
Here in the building.
Taking pictures and video, going to all the public accessible areas and all the public
Okay, well,
offices.
you have hit your max for that, so
So what other offices do you have here in the building?
we have a variety of offices, but I don't.
So what services do people come here besides this lady right here, cashier, to pay for something? Like what other offices do you guys have here? I'm sorry, I didn't get your name. What was that?
I'm Sergeant Dwayne Jackson.
Are you Sergeant?
Yes, I am.
Okay, it's hard to tell because you guys not the typical uniform here.
No.
So this is a school district administrative building.
I'm aware. Yeah, it's public. It's a public building. It's taxpayer funded. So basically, the way it works, the way the law works. Okay, we're not talking about policy right now. We can talk about policy if you want afterwards. But the way the law works is you have public buildings that are funded by taxpayers. So anybody who's a taxpayer can come in here, access anything that's public, right? So in the court of law, like you can go into areas as so long as there's not a sign that says, restricted area or something that.
Actually, there's a sign right back here that says that you've trespassed the sign for public.
What does the sign say exactly?
It's right up there.
Okay, so that's one of the things I look for is signage. Another thing I look for is public restrooms and other there's public restrooms right here to your, right over there,
Actually,
correct.
They're not down here.
Correct, yeah, right over there. But that lady said you can't go past that spot, but you can't go to the public restrooms unless you go past that sign. So it's not really this isn't restricted. A restricted area by law is an area that is non-public forum. So basically, a non-public forum is an area that is designated by the staff in the building or whoever comes up with that. That is not open to the public at any time for any reason. So once you allow one member of the public in here, it's no longer a restricted area. So
Shenanigans.
Nah, 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 nah.
Shenanigans.
Nah, 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 nah.
And we're calling shenanigans, folks. Because, simply put, he is wrong. There is no way, by his logic, that just because somebody goes into a non-traditional public forum, it automatically is now transformed, therefore after, into a general public forum. That is not the case. The White House is considered a non-traditional public forum, and yet a limited public forum. because it does allow access to public areas of the White House to the people who can go and visit it. They do allow photography there in certain areas, but it doesn't mean you can get free access to roam all over. No different with military bases and police stations. Because with his logic, again, if somebody goes to a police station to report a crime and they take them back into a room that is not in the public area, that area now becomes a public forum? No. Zach here is just trying to mislead people with his false narrative.
Appointment or not, signing or not, that's not against the law.
Okay.
So, all right.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, I didn't need help. You came to me, so I just wanted to inform you what the law is versus the policy. That's all.
Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Where are you going?
See what's over here. This looks like a cafeteria. That's a cafeteria, right?
Yeah, it's like a art martial.
Yeah.
All right, so this is community involvement. Do parents go in there or anybody?
Yeah, parents who sign in go in.
Okay, so it's open to the public.
Again, we're properly posted. You're subject to search if you come into here. You have to sign in. There's signs listed out front there.
No, that's if I don't want to give up my identity. That's me invoking my Fourth Amendment.
But you're not.
Yeah.
And
Gain access
But I'm saying
to there.
if I gave my ID, I could come in here, correct?
If you have an appointment and checked in, they vet everybody through the front
Well,
right there.
you don't schedule appointments to take pictures and video in public office. That's not one of the options to choose from.
Okay.
This is a First Amendment protected activity. So Sergeant, what again?
Joanne Jackson.
What's your badge number or identifier?
1503.
Okay. So I'll just give you a heads up now. If you guys violate my First Amendment rights, what's going to happen is there will be a civil lawsuit. Your ladies will lose your qualified immunity, and I'll have to see you guys in court. I'm just letting y'all know up front.
Okay.
All right?
Oh, blow it out your ass.
Because if I was here intending to do that, I wouldn't say anything, right? I'm trying to educate you guys, let you know that this is First Amendment protected activity. So it's not against the law. That's the only thing y'all should concern yourselves with. It's not, it might be a violation of your all's policy, but it's not a violation of the law.
Do you have students who attend public schools in Seminole County?
Sorry?
Do you have students who attend
I'm not going to
schools?
answer that question.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, our friend here doesn't have any children in public schools because, to be frankly honest, who would want to be around a known racist as Zach is and a bit of a misogynist as he's starting to get along? But, Zach, you said that this is a public forum. Yet it's a limited public forum because there's time, place, and manner restrictions, meaning if you wish to come into this area, you need to provide your ID and sign in. Yes, there are open access points to the public, but it doesn't mean you have the right to come in there without obeying the rules and policies of the building. If you do not obey those rules and policies of the building, you can be trespassed from the building and from the property.
I'm a member of the public. I pay taxes. That's all you really need to know. Did you hear what I said to her? If you guys violate my First Amendment rights, I will see you in court. You lose your qualified immunity.
You wouldn't want to deprive me of my constitutional rights, would you, musclehead?
It's a constitutionally protected activity. It's not something you need an appointment for. You don't need an appointment to exercise rights. If for some reason you don't need permission to exercise your rights. That's why we live in a free country. It's not the permission society, it's a free society. So hopefully y'all get that. But I'd like to gain access to this office because it's open to the public.
It's not open to the public unless you've signed in and you have an appointment, as I stated.
I already went through this with you.
Okay.
It's not against the law. You guys are, so you're saying you're policy enforcement at this point. Did you swear no to the Constitution? It's a serious question. I mean, that's basically the job description of your role as law enforcement.
Well, technically they are enforcing the law. They're enforcing a part of Jessica's law, which is a part of the Jessica Lunsford Act, meaning they need you to ID and sign in if you wish to go any further. And if they told you that you need an appointment to access that office inside of this building, you must obey with those rules and regulations. So you're not going to get your way here, Zach. They are doing their job.
Are you guys from the sheriff's office or the police department?
Seminole Sheriff's Office.
Sheriff's office. Where's that located?
100 Esslinger Way, Sanford, Florida 32773, right down the road.
All right, I'll be going there next to file my complaints if you guys continue to prevent my freedom of travel. And I do consult with an attorney before I go into a building to ask a bunch of questions about what I'm talking about, so I do know what I'm talking about here. This is something that you're standing on shaky ground by keeping me from going into a public office.
You're not going upstairs.
Can you not,
Ooh, access denied.
can you stop being childish? Why are you being such a petulant child? That's so immature, really. What is showing you my ID going to tell you about my intentions of being here? Nothing, right? You're not going to know me any more than you do now if I show my ID. Oh, you got to be quick with me.
You do not have permission
I don't need permission.
to gain
I have the
access.
Constitution. This is a public building. I pay taxes here just like everybody else.
And just because you pay taxes does not mean you have unfettered access to the building. They told you how you can get access to the building. You need to provide your ID and sign in. And they told you the other offices are only open to appointment only. You refuse to do what they're asking. At this point, you're in prime violation of their rules and policies, so they can ask you to leave or even have you trespass from the property.
You know this is going to go on the internet. You're going to be super embarrassed later. My videos get tens of thousands of views.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
Allie.
Pretty sure I can outrun you if I wanted to.
As it's fun to see this man-child run around like the toddler he truly is, let's jump ahead to when he is actually getting kicked out of the building.
If I was to, question for you, if I was to show ID, what is that going to tell you guys about my intentions and stuff here? Like how?
You don't have an appointment here in the building, so you can't go beyond where the public is able to.
Yeah, but you don't need it.
Building
I know, but
outside.
you don't. But you don't need appointments to exercise rights.
No, I don't know. We're all just standing here. I'm just standing
Okay, I thought maybe it's pouring rain. There's like a whole roof
hanging out
down.
here.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, man. Good. So just so you know, one way or the other, I am getting in that office. I will be getting into that office.
Now that sounds like an admission of criminality. I mean, you're saying one way or another, if you have to get past her legally or illegally, you're going to get into that office. Yeah, you're really digging that hole deeper for you to end up on a watch list somewhere, buddy.
And once you're educated, Sergeant, I would appreciate it if you owned up to your mistake afterwards and apologize, because this is just childish. I mean, honestly, it's not a big deal. People are getting workouts today. Where's that sign you were talking about?
Which one do you want to see?
Oh, this one. I saw that sign.
No, there's another one over here too.
What does it say?
Well, it's on the other side of that. I'm just gonna take a look at it.
I don't want you to block me from coming back over here.
No, I'm not about to go ahead. You already have free run over here.
Okay. On this point, you must wear an ESC or school name tag or sign in at the front desk. Yeah, I mean, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Could be better, man. I'm trying to gain access into the public offices in the building without an appointment or giving up my Fourth Amendment. Okay. So, what do you do here?
I do badges, background checks, fingerprinting.
Question. Anyone who comes in here and gives up their ID, do you guys do background checks on those?
No.
No?
So this is for employment.
Right.
Or it's for employment, or if you're a vendor, anything like that.
So if you're just like someone off the street, like myself, like a taxpayer, if I come in here and I want to be, visit the rooms and I show my ID, do you guys do any background checks on that at all?
Not background checks on visitors.
Okay. So I was explaining to her, like, me giving up my ID doesn't necessarily tell you guys anything about, any person who comes in and shows their ID. Tells them nothing about your intentions, doesn't tell you anything about that person. You know what I mean? So if it's like a safety protocol, it doesn't make anyone safer. That's all I'm trying to say. But it looks like you have law enforcement here.
Yeah, it does.
How you doing, officer? How you doing?
All right.
Are you from the sheriff's office?
I am.
Can I get your name and badge number, sir?
Deputy Barnett, 119049.
Thank you. My name's Zach. So I'm coming in here just trying to go into the publicly accessible areas. They have a policy in place where you have to give up your Fourth Amendment right, which I don't want. I'm not willing to do that because, I believe in my Fourth Amendment. I'm just trying to go into like this office, for example, over here to the right, which is a public office, but they're saying I need an appointment. But to take pictures and video and doing First Amendment protected activity, you don't need an appointment for. So that.
But Zach, going into these offices and taking photos and videos is not official business. You're not there to do any enrollment of a child into the schools, or you're not an employee, you're not a vendor. You're only there to get photos and videos and reaction from law enforcement and staff that you can put online. Because, if you get a non-reaction of a negative nature, you don't get a good audit. You don't get as many views as you want. This is the outcome that you were seeking. They told you that you can access the offices with appointment only and only after you sign in with your ID so they can verify it's who you say you are. It's not a violation of any of your constitutional rights. It's already been established by the Supreme Court.
That's where we're at. And the sergeant over here, she's like getting in my way and trying to keep, restrict my freedom of travel and just being immature. So I'm kind of glad you're here. So if you don't mind, if you can educate them, let them know that it's totally lawful what I'm doing.
It is lawful what you're doing, but you do have to check in.
Well, that's a policy.
Okay.
And I told her I'm willing to sign in, like give my name or whatever, but I don't want to show ID because that's a Fourth Amendment violation. That's all.
So their policy is their policy. They run the building, right?
Well, it's a public building. It's not.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So it's not a private
it's open
establishment.
To the public,
correct.
But if their policy states that you have to check in,
There are private areas.
because
And I'm not going into those areas. Just so everyone's clear, I'm not going into any restricted areas or anywhere I'm not supposed to be. So
everybody is required to check in. Okay.
But again, like as law enforcement, respectfully, you swore an oath to the Constitution.
He wants to let you know something.
Hey, how you doing? What's your name?
I'm Mark.
Mark,
Your
I'm
name
Zach.
is?
My name's Zach. Nice to meet you. Yes, sir. What do you do here?
I'm the Assistant Superintendent for Human Resources.
Okay, great.
My question is, why are you here?
I'm here to take pictures and video. I'm engaged in constitutionally protected activity, gathering some content for a story here on the school.
Are you here to interview anybody here?
No. I wasn't even going to talk to anybody. Everyone who's come
Have
to
you
me.
provided ID to the officers?
I'm not willing to relinquish my Fourth Amendment. That's where we're at.
Well, we're asking you to leave.
You can't do that.
If you won't provide ID, I'm not asking you whether you think I can.
You
I'm
can't.
just letting you know.
It's unlawful,
okay.
sir. You can't
And
do
I'm
that.
going to ask Lieutenant Martin to trespass you.
Well, it's an unlawful
Well, he's fairly intelligent. He's full of shit.
trespass. And you're opening the school up to civil litigation. I will
do what you need to do.
I'll get your deposition.
You
okay?
do what you need to do.
Are you signing the trespass?
Once she provides it to me,
Is your name going to be on it? Okay, so
whatever she says.
So
yes.
you'll be in court and you'll be in court, right? So you lose your qualified immunity, and I can sue you personally.
I'm really not asking you that. I'm just telling you.
I'm
that
telling you that
if
you're
don't have a
violating my
purpose,
rights.
We're asking you to leave.
You're
If
violating
not,
my
no
first.
trespass.
This is my First Amendment right. Hope you're happy violating a member of the public's civil rights. So I'll
What
see you in
I'm
court.
telling you is that someone that comes in this building, you need to provide ID.
According to
if
policy.
you're here to register a child, or
What
anything
law?
like that,
What law is that?
I'm not going to debate it with you.
You're right. You're not
But
going to
you
because it's
can
not a
go
law.
ahead and trespass.
I'll give you a hint. It's not a law.
Let me know if
I was
you know.
asking you to please leave the premises at this point. You've been trespassed, and if you don't leave, you're looking at a trespass after warning.
Okay, so if I don't leave right now, what's going to happen?
You're going to be arrested for trespass.
Right, if I don't leave right this moment.
You need to leave. You've been asked to leave by the school board.
So
Yes.
if I don't leave right now, I'll be arrested.
Correct.
Okay, so I'll go under. For threat of arrest. So I'll see you guys in court, including you. You guys are a bunch of tyrants. You need to learn the First Amendment of the Constitution. You guys will hear from me again, I promise you that. I do follow up. So is it just the inside or outside as well?
What's that?
The trespass, is it inside or outside as well?
Whole parking lot.
Whole parking lot?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
You know, this is all about exercising our rights, the First Amendment, and you guys just violated not just my rights, but every American in the country. So.
And we're going to end it here, folks. Zach was trespassed from the school board. And, well, he did follow up with his threats of going down and making a formal complaint, which is in the other half of this video, but there's no real substance. And he makes his threats of trying to sue them for violating his civil rights. As we all know, his civil rights were not violated. He was trespassed lawfully and legally. So, if you guys like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Leave a thumbs up and a comment because it helps me with the algorithm. And if you can, please consider becoming a member. With all that being said, be well, be safe, and I'll see you guys next time. And a special thank you to all members of the news team. Without your guys' continuous ongoing support, I couldn't keep the channel going. So I want to thank you all personally from the bottom of my heart.